appeal to voters who probably are very worried about their own economic conditions. I don't think these messages help him very much.
Let me bring in Congressman Keith Ellison.
If you want to do anything about deficit reduction, you've got to have a larger percentage than just over $1 million. And so I think that that's the right number. That's what the Progressive Caucus position has been, which I'm the co-chair of. And I think that if you want to do something about deficit reduction, you've got to deal with serious amounts of money, and that's the way to do it.
Now,
Our economy was strong in the Clinton days.
You've made the argument that Republicans will go to the mat to protect the rich, and
yes,
and their tax cuts, obviously, in the case of this debate that the president is going to bring back into the fore in just about an hour. Let me ask you, Congressman, if you're sitting at home, let's say you've got a couple, 3 kids, some are in college or going to college, and you make $250,000 a year, you probably don't feel like you're sitting on piles of cash. What do you say to those folks?
What I say to those folks is that taxes are necessary in order to provide basic services that you benefit from, like public universities, public schools, roads, water quality, and everything else. And the government is running out of money because nobody wants to pay any taxes. So we've got to pay some taxes, and this has got to be how it's going to have to happen if you want to make sure that America works. If you've ever been frustrated because police response is too slow, fires are not being put out on time, there's not enough teachers in your kids' classroom, we've got to all come together as Americans and say what's good for America, and that means that we're all going to have to put in.
Let me ask you about the bigger conversation that's going on right now, because it is about the wealthy and those who don't have so much money, those who have really been affected by this economy. We've seen Democrats come out, and they have continued to attack Mitt Romney over his money, over a Swiss bank account, a Bermuda shell corporation, Cayman's investments. Is that relevant?
Yes, it is, but I don't think the problem is just that Mitt Romney is rich. We've had rich leaders who had a sense of the common good. The Kennedys, Roosevelt, people were well-to-do, but they still cared and identified with the average American person. The problem with Mitt Romney is that he is completely disconnected from the average American person. I mean, you know, the reality is that I haven't seen Mitt Romney say anything about how the Republican program of austerity is causing us to lose public sector jobs. I mean, the reality is we've gained an anemic number of private sector, but we're losing public sector jobs, and those jobs are real too. I haven't heard him sit up there and say anything for the American heroes of the police department and the fire department and people who make sure our roads are drivable. So, I mean, he's disconnected. That's the problem. Not just that he's rich, but he's rich and alienated from most people.
We also just got confirmation, I want to get a quick reaction from you, that the Romney campaign raised $106 million in June. They've got $160 million cash on hand. Does that concern you?
Yes, it does concern me, but I still believe that our superior numbers will overcome their superior dollars. And the fact is, we've got to knock on doors. We've got to go all across America. We've got to get to that 10% in the middle who has every reason to see a successful America, which we won't have if Romney is the president. So, yeah, I'm worried about their money, but I'm more worried about mobilizing the grassroots of Americans who need this government to work and need America to be successful.
Congressman Keith Ellison, it's always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for being here.